Hello everyone. Today in this video, I am going to show my chat application with the GUI interface that I had made using Python. Basically, it is used to chat between two devices, two machines, or basically between a server and a client. So let me share my code with you in Python. I am using IDLE to code in Python. And for a chat application, we need three Python libraries: tkinter, socket, and thread. Tkinter is used to make the GUI. Socket is used to build the connection between two machines, server and a client, and thread is used to continuously sending and receiving messages. Now let's understand first the server side of my application. Let's start from the GUI. Here, from the main function, here is it is the main function which is calling two main functions: initialize server and GUI. First, let's see the GUI. Here in GUI, I had created mainly three variables: chat log, text box, and button. I have to create a global variables because I have to communicate between two different windows, for which I have to use a global variables. And this is to initialize the tkinter object tk function from the tkinter library, and I have given a title for the windows as server chat, and the geometry is 3D into 430. The background color was white for the desktop chat desktop, and this is the button function to create the button for which the text is sent, which will be shown on the button, and the color will be yellow, and the text color will be brown. And these are the coordinates of the window: x-axis along axis and along axis with height and width. This we will see later. And this is the thread function from start new thread function from the thread library, which will receive the messages continuously simultaneously. Then let us understand about how to initialize the server connection with our client. To initialize, I had used socket function with variables af, inet, and sock2, and we have to use host and port. We have to select the host and port to build the connection, and I had used localhost to run my port locally. And we can use the host and IP address of the server in the client file if we want to connect to two different machines, and we can use any port. Then to initialize the hosting port, we have to use bind function. Then listen function is used to set the number of clients, how many clients you have to connect with the server. I had set at one. Then we have to accept the connection from the client and return the accepted connection. Then I had created update chat function to update the chat log, where there are two states in this update chat function. If zero state, one state is zero and another is one. Zero means it will update for this window for the sender, which will be shown by you, and one else means state is one, for which it will update the window for the receiver. For the server, the receiver will be client, so it will show client on the chat log window. Then I had named send function. I had called means made the send function to send the messages, for which I had used here text box variable globally, and get function from the text box variable. Then up to update the message, I had called the zero. Zero means to update the window for the sender. Then encoded it in the ASCII to send the message. I have encoded the message into ASCII. Then deleted the text box, means empty the text box to write the another message. Then to receive the message, I had created receive function, where I had updated this receiver using the one and to receive we have to decode from the ASCII. Then if the message is decoded, then it will be shown on the chat log and either pass accept. Then here I had created one more function called press, which I had used in the GUI. Here you can see to use the enter key, means we can use the enter key instead of a send button. If we directly press the enter key, then our message automatically will be sent to the another window. That is all about the server side file code. And now coming to the client side file, the about 99% of the code is similar to that of server side. Only those similar three libraries are used here also: Tkinter, Socket, and Thread. Only the difference between server side and client side is that here we have to connect, we have to write the command only for the connection to connect with the server. And update chat function to update the chat log, and send function receive. And the GUI is almost absolutely similar with that of server. One more thing, in the main function, in both the file server and client, we had called two functions: initialize server and initialize client, and the GUI. And we had first called the initialize functions to build the connection, first to build the connection between both of them. And in GUI you can see we had called the press function and the receive function. And in press function we had called the send function. And in send, both send and receive functions, update chat function is called in both the files. Okay, so now let's run the code. Here you can see two desktop GUI interfaces are appeared. One is for server chat and another is for client chat. Now let's start typing some messages. Here you can see the server has sent a message, and in client chat we had there is a written server had sent the message hi. Now and by press enter, you can also send the message directly instead of pressing the button. So here you had seen how my code chat application was working. So that's all about my chat application, where I had shown you how to chat between a server and a client on the same system. And if you want to chat, use this application to chat between with your friend or on two different devices, then what you can do, you can run the server chat file on one system and the client chat file on another system, and whatever be the IP address of the server, change the host in the client chat accordingly to connect both of them. Thank you.